any sort of music you don't like? Because you seem to have such a vast and interesting and sort of fascination with music of all sorts.
I do. I do like pretty much all styles of music.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not worth mentioning the ones I don't like, but
You'll have a go at anything, won't you?
musically, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's the nature of my job is, you work with people doing all sorts of different music, and I'm old. I've been through lots of different eras of music and genres of music, and
You're not old. Stop it.
well, I am, but there's there's great music in every genre.
And I did say at the top of the show that obviously you and I have been around on the scene for some time, and I'm intrigued to know what you think about how the scene has sort of developed. There's been peaks, there's been troughs, it feels like we're on a peak again now.
Yeah, very much so.
It seems like there's some awesome bands out there, and again, as you said, very different styles. I mean, I was looking at your Ballagroove Studios page the other day. The amount of different acts that you've worked with in just the past few weeks of every possible genre. It feels quite exciting now, would you agree?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I sometimes try and understand why we're in a really good state at the moment. I can't really figure it out because there's some great venues, but there isn't many, and it's quite difficult for bands to, as it ever has been, to get off island and get, promote themselves to the wider world. It's no easier now than it ever has been. So, I don't know. I don't know why. I mean, maybe just because the world's a crazy place and people need to be creative. You know, maybe, that's probably what I think, realistically. So
that raises an interesting point, because there's also, things have changed with the nature of the way that we put music out there. And you've got so many different hats. A lovely one on tonight, I should say. But you do wear so many different hats in the music scene, in that there's the label, there's the studios, you're a musician yourself, you're a DJ. So you've sort of got your hand in every possible side of it. So what do you make of the advent of things like technology with regards to getting music out digitally? Do you think it is helping, or does it hinder, or does it depend what angle you're coming from?
I think there's better opportunities, in on paper. Mm-hmm. The reality of it is that there's a lot of music out there. The world is kind of flooded with music, and the gatekeepers don't have the control they once had, because anybody can put a song up on Spotify or whatever else. There's nothing to stop anyone doing it. And that, I think, is a fantastic thing. It's liberating. Yeah. It's like PBS was for television. That can only be a good thing, to be able to put a song up and it's instantly available to everyone in the world. So for all the criticism of Spotify in that respect, it's brilliant, because you couldn't do that 50 years ago, 20 years ago. You would have had to have been signed to a record label to get global distribution, whereas it's there at the press of a button. So I think the bands who utilise technology the best is, you have to go out and find your audience. Don't expect the audience to find you, because there is so much noise out there and so much music. So if you go and find where people like the music you make, there is an audience out there for you, but
you've got to work hard.
You've got to work hard at it. It's a big. You can't just play in a band and expect it to happen. Now you've got to have someone in the band who's very savvy about marketing and social media, because that's just the world we live in, and that's just the way you have to do it.
Well, let's take a break and hear now one of the bands that actually you've been obviously aware of Ruby in music for a very long time, but one of the bands that you've worked with for quite some time as well is the excellent Bisky Brisht, who have that fabulous mix of all sorts of genres all coming together into one, don't they? But
very much,
as you say yourself, there's a lot of them in the band, so they must be quite tricky to record, because Ballagroove Studios at the end of the day is quite a small space. Yeah. I mean, how do you deal with a big band like this?
Well, with Bisky, I mean, I recorded Bisky last weekend live in Compton Vaults, which was very different to how we did the record, because Ruby wanted a big sound, so we kind of recorded sections of the band at a time, and then overdubbed a lot, so there's, rather than just being like Django on the trumpet, there's Django like 3 or 4 times on the trumpet, so everything's
triple Django.
Everything's duplicated and triplicated to give that, hopefully give that big sound. So it's quite a lengthy process with a band, because I think there was about 14 people played in the band on the sessions overall. So, but that's what gives them their sound.